And the humans, even though they can only have one dreadnought, or even though they could back then have only one dreadnought, they would create vessels that were large, very large, like almost the size of a dreadnought, but enough for it not to be considered a dreadnought. The Alliance Navy consists of over 200 vessels, ranging from small to huge ones, like I said, that were almost the size of a dreadnought. When it comes to the ranking system, this is something that I've wondered whether the ranking system was in the Alliance was pretty much the same as like our military. It's not that different. There are NCOs, which mean non-commissioned officers. This was Ashley. Ashley was a non-commissioned officer because she was a gunnery chief in Mass Effect 1. And in Mass Effect 2, I think she's a lieutenant commander, if I recall. Probably, I don't remember, but I think that's what she is now. So that means that she's an officer now. The military is divided into the Navy, the naval personnel, and also the ground forces. Both of them are just as important. It's not like the ground forces are more important than the Navy, because where there's ground forces defending a planet on the ground, they can't really do much without their Navy in orbit for orbit attacks and stuff like that, and defending the orbit itself. Some differences is that the Navy have servicemen and the ground forces have privates. The ground forces are the Marines. So this is the ranking system for the Alliance. The enlisted, there are the servicemen 3rd class, servicemen 2nd class, servicemen 1st class. That's for the Navy, and then for the military, it's private 2nd class, private 1st class, and then corporal. And this goes from lowest to highest. So the highest in the enlisted is the corporal. And then the NCOs, it's the service chief, gunnery chief, and an operations chief. So that's what Ashley was. And officers, there's 2nd lieutenant, 1st lieutenant, staff lieutenant, lieutenant commander, staff commander, captain or major, and then rear admiral or general, admiral, and fleet admiral. Kaidan in Mass Effect 1 was a staff lieutenant, and in Mass Effect 2 he was a staff commander. And then Ashley was a gunnery chief in Mass Effect 1. And Ashley, and then, so that's why Ashley says in Mass Effect 1 that Kaidan was an officer, that you should choose Kaidan in Virmire instead, because for who you choose to get left behind and dies in Virmire, Ashley says, Kaidan's the officer, I'm not an officer, she's an NCO. So yeah, that's how it goes. The Alliance Military Vocational Code system classifies the career path of all serving personnel. This is where the whole N7 thing comes from. All serving personnel have a letter and a number. This is called the Military Vocational Code. They call it the MVC. And a soldier's MVC indicates proficiency, not rank. The letter notes career path, and the number indicates level of experience. So the higher the number, the more experience. And this is indicated by service record, technical scores, and commendations. All 26 letters of the alphabet are used to indicate the career path, and the numbers, they only use from 1 to 7. So 7 is the highest. And the N stands for Special Forces. That's the career path. So that's why Shepard has N7, because his career path is Special Forces, and the 7 is the highest experience level. So now let me talk a little bit about their government, the human government. It's represented by the Alliance. The Alliance government is headed by a prime minister, and whether this prime minister is elected or appointed, that's not known. So as of 2185, which is during Mass Effect 2, the position of prime minister is occupied by Amul Shastri. I don't think I've ever heard of his name. Probably in a newsreel in Mass Effect. I don't remember that name. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about what the role of humans in Mass Effect 1. One of the biggest accomplishments for humanity in the current years is what Shepard has done for many reasons. He was the first human to get a position as a Spectre, and they had been fighting to get a spot in the council, but they just never were able to for the longest time. But they were at least able to get a human Spectre. So before this, the humans had to follow everything the council would say. They didn't have a say. The humans didn't have a say in any of the decisions. So with a human Spectre, they finally had a voice, and this of course only increased after the end of Mass Effect 1, when the humans got either get a spot on the council, or the humans create their own council if the council was killed. And this is also because of what Shepard did, and the Alliance, with the help of the Fifth Fleet, with Admiral Akbar, with Admiral Hackett, and all of their efforts. So the human race continues to expand. If the Council died in Mass Effect 1, and the humans create their own council, the other races, the pre-council races, are pretty mad. The Turians say that they're not going to follow the treaty, that Ferrixon treaty anymore, and they're going to create as many dreadnoughts as they want. And the Solarians and the Asari are pretty pissed off as well, because the humans pretty much created their own council. After the occurrences of ME1, comes the whole situation with human colonies disappearing. And this is pretty much the plot line for Mass Effect 2. Human colonies are disappearing, and the Alliance doesn't know what's going on. They investigate, but they don't find any evidence. And the Alliance actually blames like pirates and stuff like that. And they don't look into it. They don't look further into it. And the human colonies actually get really pissed off, because it's kind of like the Alliance is saying, "Oh, those damn pirates disappeared a whole colony." Slap them in the wrist. Are you serious? Are you guys just gonna leave us out here? Like, why don't you guys help us out or something? And the Alliance says, "Okay, fine," to Horizon. They're like, "Okay, fine, here's some turrets, so you guys can protect yourselves." But they don't really push deeper into it. And that's what Shepard also does. The Shepard is like, we have to investigate this. Something's going on. Not just Shepard, but Cerberus. Cerberus is what brings this whole issue out of the dark again, because the Illusive Man is like, this is something serious. Shepard gets involved, and he starts investigating what's going on, and they find out that it's the Collectors. And this was happening even after Shepard was dead. This was happening already. On Omega, the Collectors were already taking human specimens. Besides the Alliance thinking that these were pirates or slavers wiping these colonies out, the Alliance also thought that it could have been Cerberus. They were like, it must be Cerberus. They never thought that it could be anything related to the Collectors or even the Reapers, because the Council. Ah, yes, the Reapers. I forgot to mention this during the First Contact War. The humans, they actually sent probes into Turian space to spy on them, to see what they were up to and all that, because they were like, these guys might be Protheans. They thought that they could even be the Protheans, because they didn't know what Turians were when the humans came in contact with them. So they sent out these probes, and these probes actually were never recovered. And this is a secret of the Alliance. The Alliance has never said anything, because if they said anything, that their probes are still out there in Turian space, this could cause really bad political consequences from the Citadel if revealed. So that's a little secret of the Alliance, that they still have those probes out there in Turian space. So yeah, I just found that kind of interesting, and I wanted to mention it. But that's pretty much it. I've got all my freaking notes everywhere. Very, very packed with information, but all interesting, at least in my opinion it is. So the humans, they in Mass Effect 3, they're going to be a much stronger force. Not only their military, but in influence in the galaxy. For so many reasons, they have been the ones that have expanding so much throughout the galaxy in such little time, but also they're the ones that have been pushing to do something for the Reaper threat. Shepard, Anderson, Hackett, even though he doesn't really voice it very much, he says he does believe Shepard, but he's kind of hands are tied. But yeah, the humans are the ones that have been pushing for the Reaper threat. And in Mass Effect 3, it's going to be very interesting to see all the races come together to fight the Reapers finally. But the humans are going to be one of those first on the front of the line. It's going to be very cool to see all of these races in action. Especially, I've always wanted to see the Turians in action. An orbital attack of the Turian fleet. Oh, that's got to be awesome. Just because they are the strongest. When it comes to military, the Turians are the strongest, and then the humans are very close in strength. So that's got to be very cool when you've got those two forces united. I think it's going to be such an awesome experience to see that. So yeah, I hope you guys found that interesting. Hopefully tomorrow, if not during the weekend, I will film my Shepard Mass Effect talks. I wanted to do this one first and then Shepard after, just because it ties so well. And next week, my races is going to be on the Batarians, because I did mention the Batarians a lot in this one. Thank you for watching, and I will talk to you guys later.